Bless you, beloved. My name is Brother Jay Motale, your brother in the faith. I'm lead pastor at the Way Church. I serve with my wife, Pastor D. Today I'm here to tell you about the first time that I saw the Lord Jesus Christ. This is, I think, one of the most memorable moments in my life that has been engraved in the back of my mind and heart and every other place that contains memory. It's not the easiest thing for me to tell. But yeah, here it goes. At this point in time in my life, I was 9 years old and I was very, very sick. Just to give you a bit of a backdrop, my father was not in the country at the time, and my father is a pastor. He had gone to Bible school at the time, and I was left with my mom, and my brother and I were very, very sick. And I remember that we were in a very dark room and I couldn't see. I remember telling her, I cannot see. I'm seeing a little bit of light and I can't see anything. And she panicked. She really, really panicked. She tried to get help but could not. Then she came home with a pastor. His name is Pastor Gregory. Actually, now it's Dr. Gregory. And he walked in, and I remember being able to see him. I remember him coming towards me, and I remember hearing a very loud cry in the room, which was my mom. And then I remember him laying his hand on my head. After he did this, I remember just going completely blank and not being able to see anymore. I could still hear my mother crying very loudly, but I couldn't see. Then a moment or two later, I remember my eyes opening. As my eyes opened, it looked like it was sunset, but I couldn't see the sun. It looked like it was evening and it was just about to go dark. And as I looked up, I still remember feeling very, very weak and being unable to stand. But I was standing and I looked and I saw a hill, and on top of the hill was a tree, very, very ugly tree. And on it was a man, and I could see this man was badly injured and he was bleeding. I was going through a lot, but I could see that he was going through much more than what I was going through. And he was bleeding from his head all the way through down his body, and he had thorns literally impressed in his head, and the thorns were causing blood to really drip straight through his face, straight through his body, straight to the ground. And when I looked at him, I immediately realized what I was looking at. I was looking at the Lord Jesus Christ, and I began to weep and cry. And yeah, um, yeah, I began to weep and to really, really cry because of what I was looking at. Oof, please forgive me. It always gets to me when I think about that moment when I realized who and what I was looking at. And at that point in time, it was just too much for my system to handle. And I remember hearing the words that you are healed. Isaiah says, He was wounded for our transgressions, He was bruised for our iniquities, and the chastisement of our peace was upon Him. Then He says, by His stripes we are healed. Immediately I heard those words. Relief came to my body, and I remember standing upright, and I remember looking at His wounded body, and I remember looking at the stripes and the flesh that was exposed. And I remember feeling so much stronger, but looking at him so much weak. And I thought to myself, I think I just saw Jesus. And in that moment, I remember seeing the doctor's, Dr. Gregory's hand move away from my face, and him look at me, and I looked at him, and he smiled. And I remember being much stronger again. And yeah, then yeah, the Lord Jesus Christ is the healer. That was my first encounter with seeing the Lord Jesus Christ. I was sick and He made me whole. He was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities, and the chastisement of our peace was upon Him. And by His stripes we are healed. So because of this, I believe the Lord Jesus Christ can literally heal any single person. It doesn't matter what it is that you're going through. My brother, by the way, was also healed. He too had an encounter in the same moment. This encounter that happened, I literally think happened in a split moment, because I remember him bringing his hand towards my head, and I remember hearing a cry. The next moment when I opened my eyes, I remember him literally removing his hand from my head, and I remember then coming back. That was the first of the visions that I began to have. I began to hear about the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm going to share more if you are interested in hearing much more about what the Lord Jesus Christ has shown me and the visions I've had. You're welcome to follow, subscribe, share, wherever you're watching from. Shalom. This is your brother in the faith, Jay Mutali. God bless you.